discussing last time the importance of making sure that your food is cooked by a Jew and not by a goy. And we explained that according to Svaradim, according to Shulchan Aruch, a person has to make sure that the Jew puts on the fire, and it's not enough that the goy turns on the fire. However, Shulchan Aruch also explains to us in Kufir Gimal that it has to be that the Jew makes it cook till Ma'achar ben Drusai. Because if the goy makes it Ma'achar ben Drusai, then it doesn't help that a Jew cooks it afterwards. What does that mean? It means that there was a Ganav, his name was Ben Drusai. And he always used to make sure to be on the run. He would never stay in one place for a long time. So never when he would cook food, he would have to stop and cook food. He would always cook food, the bare minimum that it has to be cooked. That way he doesn't waste any time, he could go continue running. So you would go and make it very rare, barely edible, he would eat it. So therefore, Shulchan Aruch says, if a goy makes the food barely edible, he makes it rare, and then the Jew finishes the rest of the job, at the end of the day, the goy made it already edible. So therefore it's considered that he cooked it. So therefore a person has to make sure that when he wants to make sure that the Jew is involved in the cooking, he should be involved in the beginning, and he should make sure that the food becomes Ma'achar ben Drusai. The food should become rare, should be edible, and then it will be considered Bishul Yisrael, because if the Jew says, it's okay, let the goy put on food on the fire, I'll flip it afterwards, or let the goy cook it, and I'll go and cook it again later. If the goy already cooked it, barely edible, it's raw now, it's rare now, it's Ma'achar ben Drusai, so it doesn't help to go and have the Jew cook it afterwards. For example, a person cooked it halfway, according to some opinions, a third of the way the goy cooked it, 50% or what's called 33% already, it's considered that a goy cooked it. So therefore a person has to know that the Jew should be involved in the beginning part and not at the end. A lot of times a person can go to a restaurant and he orders a lot of food and the food comes out so fast. How did the food come out so fast? A lot of things are pre-cooked. A lot of things are pre-cooked in the restaurant. So therefore you should know, not necessarily there's a help that if you go and tell them, I want Rabbi cook. And the goy already cooked it before you came to the restaurant, so what does it help now that the Jew will put it back on the fire? They tell me that somebody went to a restaurant, he said, I want sesame chicken. So a lot of times the sesame chicken is cooked already. So if they told, no, even the restaurant owner says, no, listen, if you ask for shredded sesame chicken, they'll make it fresh. They'll make a fresh one for you. So you see that the ones that's already pre-cooked, it wouldn't help that you asked for Bishul Yisrael because it was already cooked by a goy. It was already edible by a goy. That's another thing a person has to point out. Rav Asher Weiss in Minchat Asher, he writes, he should live a long life, he writes about shawarma. Let's say a person, the Jew, he put on the sikh of the shawarma. And now the goyish employee is going to come and shave off the shawarma. So that shawarma was cooked by the Jew because the Jew put the sikh on the flame. Well, what's going to happen after when the goy shaves off the shawarma? Now the inside layer was revealed because of the goy. The goy made it that the inside layer is going to be cooked now. Is that considered bishul akum? Is that considered cooked by a goy? Rav Asher Weiss writes that it's considered gramat. And indirectly causing the shawarma to be cooked inside is not considered bishul akum. So therefore he says, as long as the Jew is the one who puts the sikh on the machine, so it's considered bishul Yisrael that shawarma. So therefore it's not a problem that the goy goes and shaves off the outer layer. Another discussion that comes up is, there's a Ramban that the Rashba quotes. The Ramban says that this whole idea of bishul akum, that it might lead to me marrying the family, my son marrying the family of the plof guy who's a goy, right? The guy who's he's a Ishmael, right? And it might lead to me, my son marrying his daughter, Chas v'shalom, if we let him cook for me, or he might put non-kosher food in my food. That's only when it's my friend, when it's somebody who doesn't work for me. But if it's my employee, if it's my maidservant, it's my slave in my house. So he says over there's no problem, bishul akum, there's no problem of a goy cooking the food. And that's the leniency of the Ramban. The Rashba argues, he doesn't follow this opinion. And Shulchan Aruch, he brings both opinions, and he says, the first opinion is a leniency, the yesh, and then he says yesh omrim, that's a sur, and we follow yesh v'yesh, yesh patra, we follow like the second yesh omrim, and Shulchan Aruch says we don't follow this opinion. But what's important to know this opinion is, because the Chavedat Chelek Hey Rav Ovadia says that we can make a double doubt using this opinion. What's a double doubt? A lot of times you have a situation where a person has no choice. A boy came home from yeshiva, and his parents bought food, and they said, this is the food we're going to eat tonight. He said, where you bought this from restaurant, did you make sure it's Bishul Yisrael? They said, no, listen, it's a kosher place. What's the difference? It's all good. You know, if it says a kashrut certification, what does it make a difference? So therefore he doesn't have Bishul Yisrael food in front of him. So what, he should not eat? It's a sur for him to eat. What is he going to do? According to Shulchan Aruch, it wasn't cooked by a Jew, so it wasn't put on the fire by a Jew. So what is he supposed to do? Or a boy in yeshiva didn't have the food cooked by a Jew, it was only the flame turned on by a Jew. So what do you do in all these situations? You have no choice. Rabbi says there's double doubt. What's the double doubt? Maybe the halacha is like the opinion of the Ramban, that if it's an employee working for a Jew, goyish employee working for a Jew, over there it's considered there's no problem, Bishul Akum, there's no problem of a goy cooking the food. Or maybe if you want to tell me the halacha is not like the Ramban, maybe the halacha is like the Ramah, the turning on the fire is enough. So therefore, since you have this double doubt, but the Avan, he says it's forbidden to eat the food in such a situation. But of course, if the person has a choice to go to a restaurant, to go to a hall, to go to make a shish kebab in his backyard, of course, in all those situations, he should make sure that the Jew is putting the food on the fire. It was a wonderful story.